Trump and Maduro just had the final phone call before war breaks out. Yesterday, Maduro and Trump argued over his terms of stepping down. He wanted 18 months. Trump wanted it to happen this week immediately, with Trump reiterating that if you don't step down, we will invade you. This is not about terrorism. This is about Venezuela's largest oil reserve in the world, which is why Trump is trying to get Maduro to leave and set up a pro-US government instead of bombing the country and screwing up all the oil. But Maduro's not going to leave, and instead he's training all civilians in the country to fight back, using Vietnam-type tactics to make the country ungovernable. And Trump the other day closed the Venezuelan airspace on Twitter, something that's never happened before, closing the entire country's airspace just like that. Maduro also wanted a full pardon, he wanted full amnesty, and he wanted to be able to flee to either China, Russia, or Iran. Trump basically said, step down now, figure it out, and that's the only way you can maybe get out.
All right, hey, Shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah Bahashem Racha Kodash. Double honors and salutations to the apostles and others of Great Millstone. Much respect to you brothers out on the highways and byways, pushing this truth with fear and sincerity. And shalom to the hopeful elect. Shabrel Chalakar come back at you with another video. And as you can see, America, Babylon the Great, is about to move in on Venezuela, rumored, because you had Nero 47, aka Donald Trump, have a phone call with Maduro telling him to step down and get out of the way so we can come over and pretty much take your resources, right? Venezuela sits on a mountain, a reserve of oil, and that's what America does. It sees that you have resources, and if you don't want to share it them, they try to make a coup out of it, right? They try to make something out of nothing, which they're saying that drugs are being smuggled into the U.S. behind Venezuela, right? All of these drug boats, which I believe the gang, Tres de Agua, comes out of Venezuela. So, we'll see what's going to happen in the coming days. But, in the name of oil, Nero 47 is about to move in on Venezuela, to take over the resources and whatnot, put a puppet government in there. And therefore, they'll have rings to, control that region of South America. So here it is. You got Trump, Nero 47, telling you that he stopped all of these wars. He's done all of these things, to prevent 8 wars. But here it is. He's about to start a huge war. It's 1 Thessalonians 5 and verse 1. It says, "But of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you," right? Because we understanding the times and the season that we're in. The book of Ecclesiastes says that, I think it's the 8th verse maybe. Ecclesiastes 3 and verse 8, "A time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace." We are in a time of war and a time of hate. Esau Edom been the biggest hater on the planet, right? Starting with hating the children of the Lord. Because remember, when the children of the Lord, right, the Israelites came out of Egypt and they were in the wilderness, who was the first one to meet them? It was Esau Edom, which the Lord said he'll have a nation against Esau Edom for generations. This is Exodus 17 and verse 16. For he said, because the Lord Yahweh has sworn that the Lord will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. And who is Amalek? Right? Esau's grandson. So it's the Edomites, right? The Edomites that the Lord is going to have in the nation with from generation to generation. Going back to Ecclesiastes 3 and verse 8, a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. Like I said, when a time of war and a time of hate. Going back to 1 Thessalonians 5 and 1, but of the times and the seasons, brethren, you have no need that I write unto you. And the NLT it says, now concerning how and when all this will happen, dear brothers and sisters, we don't really need to write you, because the hopeful elect, they understand, they know what's going on. We know Esau Edom's tricks, his devices, as it says in Corinthians. We're not ignorant of Satan's devices. We understand that this man is never a keeper at home. Let's get that. Habakkuk 2 and verse 4. Habakkuk 2 and verse 4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by faith. It says, yeah, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desire as hell, and is as deaf, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heap unto him all people. And that's Esau Edom, right? He's never at home. He's always meddling in somebody else's business. The scriptures tell you not to meddle in other people's matters, right? But this devil, he's always in somebody else's matters. Now he's using, the war on drugs to further his campaign into taking over a nation, right? Which the Lord is using him to do that. 1 Thessalonians 5 and 2, for yourself know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travaileth upon a woman with child, and they should not escape. So, like I said, here it is, Nero 47 is telling you that he's the author of peace. He stopped 8 wars, yada, yada, yada. Thailand, Cambodia, they still got conflict. Russia, Ukraine still has conflict. The Gaza Strip, Palestinians, Israel still has conflict. China, North Korea, they're still building up weapons of mass destruction, ICBM missiles. Russia is still building missiles. Here it is. You say Iraq, Afghanistan has weapons of mass destruction, and you invade them, but Russia has weapons of mass destruction. Why not go to them? Why not invade Russia? Because they're not having that. They're not having that. But here it is. Like I said, Trump is telling you that he's stopping all these wars, but ain't shit happening. Only more and more wars, and he's trying to, be justified in creating a even bigger war, right? Because he's saying peace and safety, but sudden destruction. Nothing. Every time he came up with a peace treaty this, peace treaty that, ain't nothing but destruction came after it, right? That lets you know that, like it says in Habakkuk, the hell and destructions, right? Let me get this in Proverbs. Here. Was it? I forget. Hell. Yeah, Proverbs 27. Proverbs 27 and verse 20, it says, hell and destruction are never full, so the eyes of man are never satisfied. And that's Esau Edom, right? He sees something that he wants and he goes and take it, right? He don't spare anybody in the name of, deceiving the people, telling you that they keep bringing drugs and whatnot into America. They keep spreading drugs around in the world, right? But we all know that's a lie. We all know this is orchestrated so they can take over the land, the resources, the people, and put in puppet governments to do what they say, right? That's what they want to do. Esau Edom, right? He knows that his time is up. So he has to create all of this mischief in the earth. Revelation 12 and 12, therefore rejoice ye heavens and ye that dwell therein, that dwell in them, Salakia. Woe unto the inhabitants of the earth, destruction to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil has come down on you having great wrath, because he knoweth he has but a short time. Isaiah 10 and verse 7 in the NLT, it says, but the king of Assyria will not understand that he is my tool. His mind does not work that way. His plan is simply to destroy, to cut down nation after nation. Right? The Lord set this Assyrian up. Right? Verse 5, O Assyrian, the rod of my anger, and the staff in thy hand is my indignation. The Lord set this devil up. Right? He don't understand that. That's why he's taking peace from the earth. That's why he's trying to go into all of these lands and put them as his, right? The Gaza Strip, Venezuela, right? He's trying to stop the war or trying to permit war, with the Russia and Ukraine, but that's not going to happen, right? Matthew 24, starting at 4, and Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Hamashiach, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, noises. See that ye not be troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. All three of those attributes of, the sign of our Lord coming is happening on the earth right now as we speak. Earthquakes, pestilence, and famines, right? So now all of these nations, right, they're going to somehow, some way, America, because remember in the book of Daniel, it says that that look was more snout than his fellows. So this stout look is going to puff up at all of these other nations somehow, some way, right? Because I believe in what, Revelation 17, it says the beast hated the whore. The beast shall hate the whore. I'll start at the top. Revelation 17 and 1, and there came one of the seven angels, which had the seven vials, and he talked with me, saying unto me, come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. And we know, going to the 15th verse, that many waters is talking about the people. And verse 15, Revelation 17:15, and he said unto me, the water which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. Right? You got Nero 47 changing the Department of Defense to the Department of War, telling you who they truly are. Right? They're here for war, to take peace from the earth, right? He was given the sword and the fatness of the earth, right? And that if he has that sword, he's using his military might to gain that fatness of the earth. But here it is. You got China, you got Russia, you got Iran, you got North Korea. It's not going to let that, therefore happen. These are already opponents against the whore, right? That's not part of the beast. Iran, China, Russia, North Korea, these are not part of the beast. These are already the ones that's already opponents, oppositions to this whore, right? And they're going to get the rest of the world to be oppositions, or the rest of the world, the rest of these countries are going to be oppositions to this whore, this beast, or Salakia, this whore. The beast, NATO, the EU, right, are going to come along a little bit later on in prophecy, right? They're all going to shoot missiles at this place, thus say prophecy. Revelation 17:2, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast full of names and blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns, right? The 7 heads. That woman that's sitting in this America, right? Those 7 heads, Germany Major, Germany Minor, Rome or Italy, the Brits, French, what else? Going off the spirit. Greece, and I'm missing one more. British, Greece, Italy, France, Germany Major, Germany Minor. That's it right there. Or one more. It's another country over there. Can't think of it, but that's the 7 heads. The 10 horns is the EU, the ECC. That's now, I think, probably got like 30 to 40 countries now. That's all, all these European countries that's over there. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon, the great mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. All right, so Babylon, mystery of harlots, the great mother of harlots, the great mother of harlots, right? Right, this place is very lofty, right? Proverbs 30. Starting at 11. There's a generation that curses their father and do not bless their mother. There is a generation that are pure in their own eyes, and yet it is not washed from their filthiness. There is a generation, oh, how lofty are their eyes, and their eyelids are lifted up. There is a generation whose teeth are as swords, and their jaw teeth as knives, to devour the poor of the earth, and the needy among Salakia, and the needy from among men. Right? That's Esau Edom. In this present generation, he's always been like that, but this generation is the eyeballs are on Esau Edom, right? People like to say Esau Edom is done away in the earth. They try to bring that narrative to light, but we know that's not true, right? Esau Edom will be ruling the earth in the end times, right? So that's where all I pretty much have. Keep your eyes peeled on this, these wars and rumors of wars. Esau Edom, it's going to be like a matinee, sparing none, because he know his times is up. So hope you was edified. Hope you got something out of it. Shalom.